Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm PPE and this is the Peso Pro episodes where we talk about money management tips and peso tricks. This is part 2 of our eToro series, and we've talked about the basics and intro to eToro in the previous video. If you haven't watched that yet, please go to that video, watch that first, and jump right back into this video because today we're gonna talk about the practical steps on what you can actually do within the platform. And before we get there, I need you to be at least enrolled, or if you've opened an account already, so that you can follow with me. Okay, in today's video, we're gonna start with trying to understand how you can navigate your way around the eToro platform. And I'm assuming you've already created an account. We're gonna show you a few steps that you can actually take to get started, and we're gonna cover it in 3 big parts. One is we're gonna talk about how to create watch lists and what are they for. Second is we're gonna actually make a trade or go through the process of buying a certain security. In this case, we're gonna try to buy Ethereum. The third one is on how to find traders to copy and how do you actually go through the steps so that you can copy a person that you actually like. Now let's get started. Okay. So what you have here is my virtual account in eToro, where you can see that I've already been playing around with the $100,000 fake money that eToro provides. If you're new to investing and trading in the platform, I highly recommend that you take advantage of this virtual money that you have so that you can learn and try to test out the features before you actually put real money into play, because in trading you can actually lose the capital amount that you place into a trade, so just be very aware of that. On the eToro welcome page, you will be able to see the left hand side panel, which will have the big things that you will need to enable you to trade very easily in the platform. For now, you're seeing the watch list, which has all of the stocks and securities that I've been trying to follow. You would see that I've been following a variety of different stocks, and you would see the common headers or the common columns that you would see so that you will be able to make some decisions on your trading. You would see the actual ticker symbol and the name of the company, the change, and you can toggle the change from 1 day to 1 week or even up to 1 month to see trends based on the trend lines that you see on screen. You would have the sell and buy price, which would be active if this were shot in opening hours. Right now, as of the moment, we are not able to see movement in the buy and sell price because the markets in the US are currently closed. Last one is also sentiment, and you will see where most of the people in eToro are. If they are buying, meaning they are assessing that the stock will actually go up, or if they are selling, they are actually thinking that the stock will go down. You can also see a lot more functionalities, like you can filter into just currencies, crypto, commodities, and the like. And you can also hit on the gear button, which you can still add more markets, you can rearrange, you can launch the pro charts, which we will talk about in a while. You can also toggle the view into more tiled, and you will see them in tiles rather than a main list. I personally like seeing them in a list, so we will toggle back. Now, how you manage your watch list is important because this is gonna be your landing page so that you will see anything that you place in the watch list already. You can create a new watch list by clicking on the My Watch List and clicking on Create New List. In Create New List, you will be able to name this list. For the purposes of this video, we'll name it as Test. Click on Create New List and you will be able to have a very fresh sheet of a watch list that you can populate with whatever you want to put in. You will notice that you will have markets, which we will talk about the basic securities that you can add, and you would have people because you can actually also put people in a watch list. Now let's try to add something into our new list. For example, I'm very interested as to how Ethereum is doing. So I can actually place ETH, or I can spell out all of Ethereum so that I can find it in the available investments to choose from. Ethereum pops up, and all I would need to do is click on the plus sign. Once I have the plus sign clicked, it will add into this whole watch list where I can now see Ethereum and how it's performing. Right now, I can see that within the day, Ethereum dropped by 2% and the current sell and buy price are these values that have been moving. Again, remember, crypto doesn't have any regulations or is regulated by any market, so crypto trading is actually live 24/7. And that's why it's moving. Let's say, for example, I'm also interested in adding the Apple stock into my watch list. All you need to do is to put in the ticker symbol of AAPL, which is the ticker symbol for the Apple company. Or if you don't know the ticker symbol, you can actually just write the company name and eToro will suggest which stocks are actually available under the same name. All you need to do is click on the plus sign and the plus sign will add that to your watch list. Now you would see that for the stock, it's not moving yet on the sell and buy price because right now markets are closed. You can also add people in. So for example, let's say when I chose Apple, eToro actually suggested these different people here. If you know them or if you're interested, you can also add them into your list. However, for our example, what we will do is we will actually go into copy people on the left-hand sidebar, click on that, and that will give you a variety of information on the top traders based on certain parameters. On the top part of your eToro screen, you will be able to filter, for example, people from everywhere or on certain markets. So for example, let's say you want to use the United States as a basis. You could also put in who invests in any market, which means all of these different kinds of markets. Or if you want someone who just really places money on cryptocurrencies, then you can actually just select crypto. You can also select gained at least a certain percentage so that you can already filter them to their success. And you can also put in the time frame that you're looking at. You can select up to 2 years. All you have to do is select go, and eToro will already suggest you a list of different people that you can copy. Again, from here, you will be able to check certain people, but for now, let's just go back into how you're adding them into a watch list. Let's say, for example, I want to find someone here, and let's say, for example, hey, it's Bentley caught my attention. What I can do is I can actually click on this add to watch list icon and you can put it in the watch list that you currently have. So for example, in our case, you can select test. Once you have it there and you go back to watch list, you can actually go back and navigate towards test and you will find hey, it's Bentley over in the people section, and now you would also see like what are the performances of this certain person. Now you would see that this person is added to your watch list and under the people section. You would be able to see the change, and you can also see the change over 3 months, 6 months, or 1 month, which is the default. You can have the risk score and the number of copiers. In this case, there weren't any copiers. What you can do then is monitor this watch list, and you go on to your eToro screen, you will be able to see all of the fluctuations, and you can even select maybe a crypto watch list. For example, I have all of my crypto interests under one watch list so that I'm able to see everything that's happening. The second section of what I want to share with you is on how to actually buy an investment in eToro. So for example, we can test buying Ethereum. What you would have here is you can go through the same search bar and search for Ethereum, and that will also land you there. You can click on the Ethereum icon and it will get you to the Ethereum main page. You can, however, also use the test watch list that we created, and you can click on the Ethereum logo here. Clicking on that, or double clicking on that rather, will enable you to go into the landing page, and it will show you 4 big tabs. One is a newsfeed tab, which again, similar to any social network, you would have different posts on Ethereum from different users, and you will be able to read maybe different kinds of comments, whatever they are. So you can just go through that. You can also look at the stats tab, which will show you what are the key indicators here. You would have the previous close, the days range, the 52-week range, and the 1-year return. What you will see is that Ethereum has performed really, really well over the past year, and it has returned about 535% in that 1-year period. You will also be able to see a very, very basic chart here, which you can use different time periods like 1 day, 1 week, and so on. You would see the fluctuations also in the charts that are provided. You would also see some cases where eToro will have some profile on what that investment is. So for example, there's a long article on what Ethereum is. So if you actually want to understand what's driving the price, should you include them into your portfolio, these are actually good free resources that you have. You can also select on the chart tab, which will now give you the opportunity to look at a more detailed tab. My sheet or my chart gives me a candlestick view of the shares, and what I can actually do is I can click on the expand button on the right side, and once I have that, I get a bigger chart, and I can actually take a look into different kinds of things that I can use the pro charts for. I can select the different time periods. I can even add in more symbols, change the type of the chart that I'm looking at, and even add a few more lines, or maybe try to play around with the pro chart to see what suits you best. Now, once you're there, you can go back to the main Ethereum page by just selecting Ethereum again, and or you can click on the back button as well. The last tab that you have in each commodity will be the research tab. This may or may not be available depending on the commodity or share or crypto that you are trying to invest, but for those that are more stable and have research informations, this should be available. You will have available information on technical analysis, such as how many people are actually suggesting you to buy, hold, or sell, and what indicators are being used. You can read all about the indicators by selecting the eye icon on the right side and try to read up on them. In a future video, we'll cover the main indicators. So if you want to learn more about these and technical analysis, I highly suggest that you click on the subscribe button so that you will be reminded, and also click on the notification bell so that you see once future videos are out. You would also see in research that you can see multiple different kinds of articles that you can read through on the item you want to invest in, and that should be very, very insightful, especially if you're interested in a specific security. You can also see fundamentals and different kinds of reports on the research tab. Now, this section will teach you how to purchase a portion of Ethereum. So what you can do is select trade, and the trade function will essentially allow you to buy Ethereum at a certain price. Remember, the certain price here is the price as of the moment in time, so it can fluctuate, and also it includes what we call spread. This is the way that the platform or the trading platform eToro actually earns money. There's a small markup versus the actual trading price of Ethereum that will yield them profit so that they can fund operations and also cover for business costs. Select trade and essentially put in the amount that you want to buy. For example, because this is anyway virtual money, let's put in $1,000 on Ethereum. What I can do is put in $1,000 and just click on open trade. What that will do is it will buy Ethereum at the price when I click, and it will open a position for me. Once you bought Ethereum, you can go back to your portfolio, and by here, you will be able to see that Ethereum has just been added. Don't be scared, because in most cases, because of the spread, you would actually start off with a loss in your portfolio as of the time of purchase. So in a lot of cases, you will already really start with a loss because the fees are being tacked onto that purchase at the time of clicking. There's also another way to purchase an asset. What you can do is you can click on trade and select order as your option. In order, now you would have an extra field to fill up. You can actually set a price as to when you want to buy Ethereum. So for example, you only want to buy Ethereum if it reaches a price of 1,750. Then you will put in the amount. Let's say you would want to put in another $1,000 if the price is reached. What this would do is it will create an order. So you click on set order. And what would that do is it will create an order to place at that price. If you go to your portfolio, Ethereum would still be at 1,000 invested, but you would now see pending orders in your eToro account. If you click on view, this will be exactly what we said. Execute at 1750 and invest 1,000. This will be open up until the condition is met or up until you close this order position. If you want to close it, you can just select on the X and cancel the order, and that should be done. The last section that we wanted to cover in today's video would be on how to copy people. Let's go back into the copy people section of eToro. Click on copy people and you would find different kinds of investors here. Let's for example say just pick the one that is being highlighted. Let's say we can select Imran for example. Click on Imran's profile. And from here, you would have similar tabs but will show you a bit of different information. In the stats tab, you will be able to see past performance from this person. So you will be able to see, okay, how much did Imran actually earn or lose at certain months. So you would be able to see a 3-year view of what the returns are, and you would see that in some months, Imran actually lost some money, but in other months, he also gained. Again, past performance is not indicative of future results, so just take that into account when you're deciding on who to copy. If you go down, you will actually have a different view also on the risk score. The risk score is eToro's way of telling you how risky are the investments in Imran's or any trader's profile. This person has been in the average risk score in the last 7 days of 2, which is very, very low risk. You would also see max drawdown as a key indicator, which means the maximum that Imran lost in the past week is only 2%, which is identifiable with the risk level because as these are low risk investments, you can also expect low risk of rewards and also lower chances of loss. The risk scale that eToro follows is 1 is the lowest and 10 being the highest. You can also see the person's copiers. Currently, there's about 321 people copying with about a range of about 100 to 300,000 assets under management, which means the total amount that's copying this person's trade is in the range of 100 to 300k. Go down by a bit further and you would see why the risk score is actually very, very low. In here, you would see that there are very different kinds of instruments that are being invested in. You would have ETFs or exchange traded funds, indices, currencies, commodities, crypto, and stocks. And because of the mix of all of these items that this person is trading, eToro actually scored a risk of about 2 to 4 in the last 7 days. Generally speaking, ETFs and indices are low risk because they're already diversified. You're essentially not buying a specific share or a specific commodity. You're buying into the entire index or entire pooled funds of that ETF or that index. If you want to learn more about this person's profile, you can click on the portfolio tab and you will see some assets that he bought and also look at the chart so that you will be able to see the trends of how much did he make or lose in the specific time frame. Once you're convinced that this person is the person you want to copy, go ahead and click on the copy button. And what you would do is you would set an amount that you will put in. Let's say, for example, you're going to start with $1,000. You can also create a stop copying if the value drops below a certain amount. Typically, eToro suggests a 40% stop loss or the maximum amount of loss that you will be able to take before stopping the copy of this person. You can obviously edit whatever that amount is. So for example, you can say maybe if you want to take in a more risk, you can put in 500 and you can select on copy. Once you click on copy, what you would do is go back to the portfolio and you would see that person now part of your portfolio as if that person was a stock or a crypto. What you would see here is that there's $1,000 that are already invested, but since the markets are closed, then there are no trades happening yet. However, when this person will now make a trade, then you're essentially copying whatever trades he or she will be doing. You can then select on add funds if you want to top up your investment with this person. You can always select any fund where a maximum is noted because there are limits as to how much funds a person can manage in eToro. Let's say, for example, you want to add $500. Just click on the add funds button and put in the amount and click on update. The stop loss will copy the initial stop loss that you set when you started copying this person. You can also edit preferences as to the copy of this person's fund. You can select on pause copy, which will pause the copying of any future trades. You can stop copying at all, or you can actually view the person's chart so that you will be able to see what's happening and what has happened in your investment. Essentially, think about it as you are technically buying this person's portfolio, similar to how you're buying a share. It's just that you will only be able to purchase this person's portfolio at the current price. You will lose the flexibility to set the price that you want for any of the different investments. Those are the 3 segments I wanted to talk to you about today, about eToro trading. I hope those were helpful so that you can essentially start working with eToro. I strongly suggest that you use the virtual fund so that you can test it out and learn from it. We haven't discussed everything that the platform can do. There's so much more inside the eToro platform. So if this was helpful to get you started, please feel free to share it with a friend. And if you have more questions, put them in the comment section below. And obviously, hit subscribe and the notification bell so that you will see next videos when they are up. And I promise to cover more eToro related or similar kinds of topics in the future so that you are able to learn more and be able to expand your investing horizon so that your goals can be met. Thank you for joining me in today's session, and I hope to see you in the next one.